Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
All right, so today let's talk about something that's becoming a pretty big problem.
Okay, what's that?
Dengue fever,
Dengue. Yeah.
specifically in Pakistan.
Interesting. Okay.
And, we were reading some stuff from Sweep Pest Control,
Yeah.
and we're kind of focusing on these cities in Pakistan, right?
Right.
That are growing so fast, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Karachi,
Mm-hmm.
and how that rapid growth is really impacting.
Yeah. So you've got this sort of like a double whammy, right?
Yeah.
You've got the rapid growth of these cities, right? And it's not just that they're getting bigger, it's how they're getting bigger.
Exactly, yeah. It's not always the most well-planned growth.
Right. It's kind of like, boom, buildings everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, sometimes things like proper waste management or, making sure there's no standing water.
Right, infrastructure stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't always keep up.
And that's kind of what Clean Sweep was pointing out too, right? Like, they're dealing with the aftermath.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are seeing,
The boots on the ground.
the overcrowded housing, the stagnant water.
Mm-hmm. All the things that, like mosquitoes and rats, they love that.
They thrive in that environment, yeah.
It's like a buffet for them.
And so we're seeing this increase in mosquito populations,
Right.
which is directly linked to
Dengue.
dengue. And so, people are getting sick and
Well, and think about it. When you've got all these people packed together really tightly, right? High population density, it just makes it that much easier
for it to spread.
for the disease to spread.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm.
It really is.
But you know what I thought was interesting is, we often think of pest control as like, oh,
Spraying everything.
yeah, just come in, kill everything, get rid of it.
Right, right.
But Clean Sweep's approach is a little bit different.
Yeah, they're talking about like prevention, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at ways to stop these problems before they even really get started.
Right, which is a much smarter approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know one of the things they do, and you probably know more about this than I do.
Well, they do this thing called larviciding. Have you heard of that?
Larviciding?
Larviciding,
Yeah.
yeah.
How that?
So basically, they're targeting the mosquito larvae
Oh, interesting.
in those like breeding hotspots.
Okay.
So before the mosquitoes even have a chance to like grow up and start biting people,
Got it.
they're getting rid of them.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, it's like, why wait for the problem to become a huge problem?
Exactly.
Take care of it early.
Nip it in the bud, yeah.
Exactly.
And I know I read this on their website or something that they actually customize their approach to, like
Each client.
each client.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all.
No, not at all. So imagine you're, a homeowner in Karachi, right? And you're understandably worried about dengue.
Mm-hmm.
So you give Clean Sweep a call, right? They don't just like send someone out with a can of, insecticide.
Right.
They come to your property, they assess the situation,
Okay.
they look for potential breeding grounds, and they develop a plan that's specific to your needs.
So they're really thinking about it,
They are. They're thinking about it carefully.
which is good.
It is good. It's responsible.
And, they mentioned something about using eco-friendly solutions,
Yeah, that's important.
which is great because it's not just about getting rid of the pests.
Right.
It's about doing it in a way that doesn't harm
An environment.
the environment or people, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a more holistic approach.
I like that. Holistic, yeah.
But, it makes you think, like,
Right.
okay, so we've got these private companies doing great work,
Mm-hmm.
but is there something more?
Yeah, I mean, what about the role of, like, urban planning in all of this?
You mean like how the cities are designed?
Exactly. Like, if you've got better drainage systems,
Okay, yeah.
or if you incorporate more green spaces, things like that could actually make a big difference in reducing those pest populations.
Right, because you're making the city less hospitable to them in the first place.
That's the idea.
So it's a multi-pronged approach.
I think so, yeah.
You've got, the private sector, you've got the government, you've got, the people who live in the city.
Right. And I think that's a good point to end on, right? Like,
Okay.
It's a big problem, but it's not a hopeless problem.
Right.
And all of us, we can play a role, right? Even simple things like
Like what?
making sure there's no standing water in your backyard
Okay.
or just disposing of your waste properly.
Right.
These things actually can make a difference.
So it's a collective effort.
It really is.
All right. Well, that was a fascinating look at dengue fever in Pakistan.
It really was.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.